So damage attenuation has become a hot topic in Warframe for the last few days, with most other creators and Reddit talking heavily about it due to some bugs that have cropped up in Isleweaver. So I'm going to throw my hat into the ring with it and offer some possible solutions and ideas I've been brainstorming up for the past few days. This is going to be a bit of a longer one today, so sit tight. If you don't know what damage attenuation is, super oversimplified for the sake of time, it's basically a special form of damage reduction that some elite mobs, mini-bosses, and bosses have that make them harder to deal with, but also kinda turns them into bullet sponges, which isn't exactly a fun game mechanic, and rightfully so, the community isn't the happiest about it. So I've got two ideas that I think the devs could implement to make these special enemy units and bosses still more engaging in a threat without making them full-blown sources of frustration. My first idea has to do with elite mobs and mini-bosses. So this is things like the Scaldra Decadent, Demolisher Targets, and Acolytes. And surprisingly, it's already in the game in a weird way. The Archimedias have special mission modifiers, and one of them is Sealed Armor, which makes you do 90% less damage to non-weak point hits. And I think that would actually be a pretty good solution to apply to these special mobs to encourage a more active, engaged, and skill-based solution to the attenuation problem. I think it would also encourage build diversity in our loadouts for higher level play, where if we want to effectively deal with these harder to kill enemies and also clean out hordes of baddies, we bring one weapon to deal with the trash and a single target weapon to deal with these special enemies so that we can properly hit those weak points. For bosses, I think the Coda adversary fight almost had it right but in the opposite direction, and we're going to take a page from one of mine and Reb's favorite games, Final Fantasy XIV. In the Coda encounter, if you get hit by too many mechanics, then you get a debuff that makes you take more damage from the boss when it's active in the next phase. But in Final Fantasy, if you get hit by a mechanic, you do less damage, called damage down. And I think something along those lines would fit perfectly into Warframe's more engaged and fun bosses that they've been adding in. Since the devs are already working towards getting these older fights updated as we've seen in the last few patches and mentioned in a previous dev stream, I'd like to see something like this implemented where instead of punishing us with more damage to our frames and thus encouraging us to cheese it with an invulnerable frame, reward us for higher skilled play with more damage to the boss for properly doing the fight mechanics to make our boss grinds more efficient, thus encouraging people to actually do these cool new mechanics they're making. Obviously, I have no idea how easily this would be to implement into Warframe, I'm no dev, but I think these two changes would really fit well into what I feel is a shift in the game that Pablo, Reb, and the team are implementing already. But what do you all think? Let me know your constructive ideas and what you think of mine in the comments, and as always, sub for more tips and swing by my stream if you need any help.